Elmo. The children love him. He's a household name. He seemed to find his way to stardom years ago. But has anyone begged the question? Does Elmo have a brother? And if so, who is he? Well, after doing some digging, we have found him.
I look alright? I look good? Okay. My name's Stan, but that's not how the world sees me. They don't see me as Stan. They see me as Elmo's brother. My entire identity that comes with existence has been stolen from me by my brother's fame. When people think of me, they really think of Elmo, and that is something I will never, ever be able to reverse. Elmo and I come from the same background, the same family, house, living conditions. It's just Elmo always got all the love. From our parents, from our teachers, even from people who said they were my best friends. It was always Elmo who absorbed their interest. I was much more of an afterthought to them, a lost cause, and to put it mildly, it sent me into a dark place. One day after school, I went to this pasta place called Pete's, and then these two guys in suits came in and sat down at my table. They told me of this thing called the Mafia. They brought me in as one of their own, gave me a rosary, and took me to their boss, Mr. Fat Fettuccine, but we all just called him Pops. I would do anything for Pops, and eventually we became close friends. But one day, Pops wasn't looking too hot. We took him to the hospital and he was laid down on a stretcher, but then some hideous looking sock thing grew out of his chest. It was horrifying, and Pops was eaten alive. This hit us all very hard, but it didn't hit anyone else harder than Pop's 8th wife, Esmeralda. I began to comfort her, grow closer, and eventually very close. We married, and I assumed everything Pops had left behind, rising me to the top of a gang empire. I would order hit after hit, and the police would always suspect it was one of my men, but they never found the evidence to prove it. That was until they caught me on tax evasion. My men and I were originally sentenced to 20 years in an overseas prison, but a buddy of mine who knew the judge threatened, convinced him to cut us some slack. So it was. I was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest alongside a few fines. So now, as you interview me, I still have 2 months left, and it's just me, Esmeralda, and a fallen crime empire, and a brother who I have to watch continuously be successful on TV. But look at it this way. Sure, Elmo, he has the life, the babes, the endless stream of cash, but what he doesn't have is intimidation. Someone hears the name Elmo, and they use it as an insult or someone with a high-pitched voice. They hear the name Stan in these parts, and they know it's someone they shouldn't cross. The point is, sometimes it's better to go down in infamy than to never go down famously at all.